15 years old, I knew I was destined for a law enforcement career, to keep the public safe, and servant leadership, which had been so well modeled by my grandparents, Gomocinda and Domingo Ruiz. At an early age, I grew up in a typical extended Mexican household with my grandparents, my father, and my aunts. Though my grandparents had little money, there was always lots of love, and they would give to anyone in need. We grew up on a busy highway, and one of my most vivid memories were that of stranded motorists that would knock at our door to use our phone at all hours. My grandmother would immediately rise, make homemade fresh tortillas, and a food care package for the travelers to go. Those life lessons were instilled in me, and when I became a police officer, I found my passion, leading with safety and serving with purpose. I spent half my career on midnight shift as a patrol officer and a patrol commander in the thick of violence, a small sacrifice to raise my children. Community elders were my balance between cynicism and optimism. No matter the hour, they were excited to see me because visitors were few and they felt peace with safety. The Lansing Police Department in Michigan has a very strong community policing foundation, which I firmly embraced. Beyond the call of duty, I would often take home senior citizens for the holidays so they were not alone. So as I moved on in my career, I met a lovely lady named Mrs. Salinas, and ironically, I would begin and end my career with her. I met Mrs. Salinas while she was chopping vegetables at our Cristo Rey Fiesta as a rookie police officer. When I found out she was a childless widow, I would visit her home and ensure she was safely navigating independent living. Her brother lived across the street, and when he would see my fully marked police Tahoe parked outside the drive, he would come running. He would immediately demand attention, as most young siblings do, and he would overtake the conversation and try to interrupt Mrs. Salinas, which would often lead to squabbling between siblings, but would always end amicably. So as time went on throughout my career, I was getting excited because my 25-year career was coming to an end. And as it was coming to an end, Mrs. Salinas was becoming more feeble. So I talked to her brother about alternate care options. He advised that the siblings, including himself, were 80 to 92 years old, so they could not help, nor would they agree to alternate living arrangements. Mrs. Salinas suffered a fall within a couple of months and permanently transitioned to nursing home living. I was excited as I was ending my police career and starting a new venture with a personal safety keynote and workshop business. I thought all was well because Mrs. Salinas' brother was the trustee. He was 80 years old and in charge of her care plan. So I moved on with my new business. I was very excited packing bags and getting ready for a first ever family vacation during Christmas to a warm climate when my phone rang. When I answered the phone, it was Mrs. Salinas' brother. And he was speaking rapidly in Spanish and very excitable, not in a good way. Tranquile, tranquile, ¿qué pasó, mi amigo? Tranquile. He told me that Mrs. Salinas suffered a fall and he could no longer take care of her. And he said that he told everyone to call me. And at that point, I had just retired from the police department and I was enjoying not getting woke up 24/7. So I asked, who is everyone that you gave my number to? And he tells me that he gave my number to all the doctors. And he could no longer take care of his 99-year-old sister and couldn't take care of her care plan. So I was concerned how I would navigate daily volunteer obligations, family duties, and a new business. So I prayed some more, took a leap of faith, and legally adopted Mrs. Salinas. When I got to the nursing home, she had been there 15 months. In my first visit with her, she did not have dentures that fit her mouth. She could not properly chew food and had lost a significant amount of weight. She did not have the proper prescription in her eyeglasses, so she couldn't see to tell the time across the room. She never had hearing aids, so she couldn't hear to carry on conversation. And she had a bum knee, which required an orthopedic evaluation. When I called my trusted healthcare contacts, every one of them immediately jumped on board to help for free. Due to those connections, Mrs. Salinas has enjoyed a very nice quality of life. I use my Tracy Ruiz social media pages to share Mrs. Salinas' history, highlights, and needs. Did you know she was an original founding member of her Latin church? She sang in her choir for 60 years, and she has been a madrina, or a godmother, to over 200 parishioners. Though she has spent her life devoting everything she's got to others, she now humbly accepts help. And due to generous medical providers, business owners, and community members, Mrs. Salinas' quality of life has elevated exponentially. One act of kindness, and you never know its ripple effects. The commonality between my police career and my speaker business is leading with safety and serving with purpose. I have helped hundreds of thousands of people during my police career, and due to those connections, I was able to make life-saving changes collaboratively for Mrs. Salinas. Margaret Mead once said, "Never doubt that a small, thoughtful group of committed people can change the world. It's the only thing that ever has." You, my friends, are a testament. And I thank you for supporting our greatest generation. It is my extreme privilege right now to introduce you to Mrs. Eva Salinas. It is no coincidence that Mrs. Salinas just celebrated her 104th birthday. People repeatedly tell Mrs. Salinas that she is lucky to have me. I say, I am the one who is lucky. Gracias.